Will the Trump tariffs cause car prices to increase? By how much and when? That's what we're going to find out. Welcome to Car Help Corner, where we help you, the consumer, master the process of car buying and car ownership. It has been an economic roller coaster ride lately, to say the least. President Trump seems to be following through on his threat to impose steep tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China, setting the stage for a destabilizing trade war with the United States' largest commercial partners. In addition to hitting Canada and Mexico with tariffs of 25% on all goods, with a partial carve-out for Canadian energy and oil exports, he is also placing a 10% tariff on goods from China, another major US trading partner, and plans to do the same for the European Union. And if this is in fact happening, both Mexico and Canada will be responding with tariffs of their own. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has already announced tariffs on over $100 billion worth of US goods. Canada and Mexico have accused Trump of potentially starting a trade war that would destabilize all three economies. So how exactly is all of this going to be impacting car prices? How much will prices increase and how quickly? And if you are in the market to purchase a car in the near future, when exactly is going to be the right time to buy? Well, to get some answers to a lot of these questions, I decided to speak with an industry stakeholder, David Adams, the CEO of the Global Automakers of Canada Association, a non-profit organization that represents the automakers, so definitely the right person to be speaking with on this issue. I'm going to be sharing clips of my conversation with David throughout this video, starting with the first biggest question, which of course is how much are car prices going to increase and how quickly is it going to happen?
To your question about how much could vehicle prices go up, a lot of it is speculation, but a number of the economists have put papers out. I think there was a paper from TD Economics, amongst others, that suggested that car prices could go up anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000, which is, a challenge, certainly in an environment both in the United States and Canada where vehicle affordability is very much on the average consumer's mind these days.
Well, you can say that again. So it seems that price increases on new cars, somewhere between 5 to 10% is realistic, and even greater price increases are even possible. And how quickly that happens all depends on whether this erupts into a full-on trade war or whether the countries can come to an agreement. Now, some may be wondering, are there going to be particular vehicles that are going to manage to escape these tariffs? Well, the short answer to that is most likely no. And that's because there's really no such thing as a vehicle that's manufactured in a country that has 100% locally sourced components. Cars are made up of a huge number of parts, many of which are manufactured in different countries. And these parts are often shipped across borders multiple times during the production process. Just look at the latest 2024 Made in America Auto Index. We can see that there really is no such thing as a vehicle that has 100% domestic content. The most made in America vehicles are in fact Teslas. And even when it comes to Tesla, they only have between 80 to 87% domestic content. Following Tesla, the next most American vehicle is the Ford Mustang, also with 80% American content. And believe it or not, right after that is the Honda Passport, which is not only manufactured in the United States, but has 76% American content. So there really is no such thing as a vehicle that has 100% American components. The reality is that the automobile industry is a global one. There's really no such thing as an automobile that's manufactured with 100% local components. It requires components that can come from potentially many different countries. For example, a car might be assembled in the US, but some of its parts, like microchips, tires, and even steel, could be coming from other countries. When tariffs are introduced, it impacts the cost of those imported parts, which makes manufacturing more expensive.
We would seem to be in the early stages of a trade war that hopefully doesn't last very long because ultimately, as we were just talking about, the impact of even American tariffs on Canadian product, because the two industries are so integrated, as you alluded to, will impact the automotive industry fairly rapidly as well. So it's not a question of, oh, well, anything that is manufactured in the U.S. It will be fine. No, and phrase that I like to use is, if we make vehicles with each other, we don't make vehicles for each other. So any vehicle, whether it's vehicle made in the U.S., for instance, has about 50% Canadian content in that vehicle. That's an important indication, I would say.
There are other possibilities as well. One other idea that has been thrown around is that because Elon Musk seems to be a major instigator, or at least have huge involvement in Trump's actions, the Canadian government is considering targeting him directly with a 100% tariff on all Tesla vehicles, which would be devastating to Tesla sales, which have already been on a downward slide in recent months. Another concerning piece to all of this is that the tariffs could lead to the possible shutdown of manufacturing facilities, which of course would impact thousands of jobs, and along with car price increases, would be another contributing factor to a major economic downturn. Now, the good news in all of this is that nothing is permanent. Things can absolutely change, and with enough pressure from industry stakeholders combined with negotiations from government leaders, Trump could be convinced to reverse his decisions and not start this major trade war. Now, I asked David Adams what his thoughts were on this, whether things can be reversed and go back to normal, and whether consumers who are considering purchasing a car should be jumping into the market right now or not.
Yeah, I mean, there will certainly be some consumers that would want to, I guess, just make sure they're safe, and might want to go out and buy a vehicle as soon as possible. But I think we're in uncharted territory here, and I think there's an element of waiting and seeing that is probably maybe the more prudent course of action, so that all of these sort of doomsday scenarios that we're talking about don't come to pass. But I think the one thing that's not clear at the moment is what the ultimate goal is for the president with respect to these tariffs. Is it really the fentanyl and illegal migrants, especially coming from Canada? Maybe it's an issue on the southern border, but as far as I know, it's not an issue on the northern border. But we have to address the concerns that are put in front of us, and those are the concerns right now that have been put in front of Canada as issues that need to be addressed. To hopefully avoid these tariffs moving forward. And hopefully that will be, one of the outcomes of the discussion this afternoon between the Prime Minister and the President. But again, that's all speculation at this point.
So what's my take on whether you should be jumping into buying a car right away? Well, I don't think that there's any need to have any sense of urgency to make a decision right away. Nothing happens extremely quickly. Existing new car inventory will remain as is for now, and we will continue to have incentives and rebate programs with good deals on vehicles that dealers need to sell. So if you are planning to buy in the near future, there will still be plenty of excellent deals out there, at least for a while. Looking a few months or several months down the road, however, no one knows what's going to happen right now. If this trade war doesn't end, manufacturers will start to increase the MSRP of vehicles, likely 1 to 2% increases at a time over an extended period. And if manufacturing stops and dealer supply goes down, this will cause manufacturers to reduce their incentives, which would further increase prices. And that could easily trickle into the used car market and cause used car prices to increase as well. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but only time will tell at this point. In any case, I am going to be making a video on the best available new car deals in the market right now for both the US and Canada. So make sure to stay tuned for that. In the meantime, if you are in the market considering to purchase a vehicle and you live here in Ontario, know that OMVIC is the sales regulator of dealerships that's responsible for administering and enforcing the rules that dealerships must follow. So to learn more about your consumer protection rights, make sure to visit omvic.ca. Now, if you enjoyed and got value out of this video, make sure to like and subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram. And if you need any additional car buying advice, recommendations, or help with getting a great deal on your next new car purchase, make sure to visit carhelpcan.com. Thanks so much for watching and see you next time.